Greetings, all you Jackson Jets, and welcome to your daily dose of donkey with Ginger. It's time to bring back the power rankings. We took a week break for, the holidays, a little Christmas time, a little fun. Before we get into the power rankings, though, let's start off with sad news for NFL community, the loss of John Madden, the legend, the man that this game is named after, the voice that so many people grew up knowing for football, a coach who was so great for the Oakland Raiders. I mean, what can you say about him? He literally was just what NFL football is. That's John Madden. Plain and simple. Sad to see him go. If you didn't get to catch the documentary that they put out on Christmas, it was a really, really good one about him. The All Madden, I believe it's called. Just sad, sad day for football. Now that other business is out of the way, let's get into the power rankings, the power index. Lasker's Gingy have come through once again with their power rankings. Mix that in with the power index, and you get the Donk Nation power rankings, which are kind of fun this week. There's more ties than we're used to, and there's actually a unanimous 1-2 for the first time, I think, ever that agreement is all around there. So let's start at the bottom. Number 10, our first tie. There's two teams tied for 10 here. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans. One team that's trending up after a big win, and one team that's kind of just treading water, but getting A.J. Brown back has definitely made the Titans look better. Number 9, you have the New England Patriots. Big loss for them against Buffalo in terms of winning the division, but with all the other teams losing in the AFC, didn't really hurt their playoff chances all that much. Red hot team, Indianapolis Colts come in at number 8. And what's there to be said other than Carson Wentz, I think, is on the COVID list or the injured list. That could hurt their playoff chances as they are down there in the wild card standings right now. But this is a team that's playing great, and I believe they're getting Leonard and a few other people back from the COVID list, so reinforcements coming. Number 7, you're seeing a team in Arizona that is dropping, and this is what I said about them all year. It's Kyler Murray gets hurt, and when he comes back, he's not the same quarterback. And we're seeing that once again as Arizona just keeps tripping up because Kyler Murray is just not getting the job done. I guess technically they're not 7. They're tied for 6 with this team, the Buffalo Bills, who just came off a big win against New England, now control their own destiny for their division. I guess they did before because they played New England, but whoever won that controlled their own destiny. And it's a team that has a good offense, good defense. If they can just keep it going all at once, scary to watch. Number 5, we have the Dallas Cowboys. Big explosive offense, defense looking good. Micah Parsons getting better every week. Watch out for that Cowboys team, but then again, watch out for the NFC as there's a bunch of stacked teams. Coming next, we have a tie for third place between the LA Rams, who right now, ironically, just like last year, the only weakness on that team seems to be quarterback, but they traded for Matthew Stafford, so this wouldn't be the case, but still seems the only weakness on the team is quarterback, and Stafford better step it up if he wants to change people's perspective on him. And the other team there is the team that doesn't have a problem at quarterback. That's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady. Didn't have their top 2 targets. Antonio Brown comes back, just balls out. It just shows you how many receiving threats they have there, or the fact that Tom Brady can work with anyone. It's sad to see Godwin lost for the year for them, but hey, they get healthy on the defense, they can make a good run in the playoffs. Number 2, we have the Kansas City Chiefs scene here. What can you say? That defense has been a top 5 unit after like week 7. That offense has Pat Mahomes. They absolutely slobber knocked the Steelers, and that was without Travis Kelce. And they lost ETN early in the game to a shoulder injury, but as long as you have Mahomes there and at least 1 or 2 weapons healthy, with the way that defense is playing, you gotta like what the Chiefs are doing. Shout out also to the guy I really wanted to see drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers playing center. Creed Humphrey is just dominating and already looks like he might be the best center in football. And then number 1, they've been here before. They're a team that doesn't get it done pretty, but when you have the best record and your defense is a top 10 unit, you have to like the Green Bay Packers because top 10 unit on defense, good running game with Dillon and Williams, or Aaron Jones, excuse me. Aaron Jones and in there. And of course, Aaron Rodgers, looking like an old man now, looking like he belongs on the beach in retirement, but going out there and playing some football. Gotta say, if he can just keep it up, where do they go this year? Hopefully for them it would be the Super Bowl, but could it just be another heartbreak in the playoffs here for the Packers, as they have not shown all the explosiveness you would like to see from them on a consistent basis, and the way the NFC is, you cannot have an off day. But hey, right now you can't argue. The Green Bay looks like the best team out there, and this game going on right here could be a preview of the Super Bowl. Not personally what I think is going to happen, but right now you're looking at the two hottest teams in football. Green Bay Packers, Kansas City Chiefs. So let's dig into the power index. What can we say here? Jaguars, man, you thought it was bad before, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. I don't even know if they can evaluate Trevor Lawrence yet, but you got to be the worst team in the league, so you're falling down there because that's where you sit right now. Detroit, winning your way out of a number one draft pick. I don't know if it's such a good thing to pull off your second win, but hey, that's where we are. Then New York teams come in, 30-29, Jets, Giants. Both have young quarterbacks I'm not sold on. Giants, Saquon Barkley's not looking that great. The Jets, the team looks better when Zach Wilson doesn't play. Then we get Houston, who's playing a little bit better, coming in. Right above them, Seattle, and I mean, with Russell Wilson being a top 6 team, that has to be hard for Seattle. Chicago comes in at 26. Matt Nagy, supposed to be an offense genius, clearly not. Carolina comes in at 25. A lot of injuries have derailed that team. Who knows where they are? Sam Darnold doesn't get hurt. Probably a little better, but honestly, just not quite going right for Matt Rule. Washington at 24. A lot of hit and miss there. And a lot of injuries have led to some bad things. Atlanta at 23. Do you keep Matt Ryan going into next year? Because you have a lot of weapons there, and you got to make it work. 22, you have New Orleans. Man, what a year this could have been if Jameis Winston stayed healthy. Pittsburgh coming in at 21. Playoff hopes. They went out there pretty well and a chance to get in there, but looking more and more like this next game is going to be Ben's last at Heinz Field, as it does not seem like this team is built to win currently. 20, you have Minnesota. A lot of good weapons and another coach who maybe should be on the hot seat, because this is just a team underperforming there. I mean, you bring in Kirk Cousins because he's supposed to be better than, who was it at the time? Case Keenum. And it hasn't worked. And at some point, you have to hold a coach accountable. Cleveland coming in at 19. A bunch of injuries and underperformance by Baker Mayfield is all you have to say there. Vegas at 18 after firing Gruden and then losing 2 really talented players. Just haven't been able to hold on. But still, these teams all in the playoff race. Denver at 17. Really good defense, no offense. Baltimore at 16. Supposed to be a running team, but they throw the ball more often, and their backups have looked better than their starter. Lamar needs to step it up when he gets healthy, and if this team wants to win the division, they have to play good now. Philly at 15, this is a Jekyll and Hyde team. I mean, they're either really good or really, really bad, and a lot of that is Jalen Hurts developing. Is he ever going to be a top-tier quarterback? Who really knows, but I mean, he can put up a lot of points. At the same time, he can also put up 0 points. San Francisco at 14. Another one of these teams. Is Garoppolo healthy enough to play? Has he been healthy enough all year? Injuries have really hurt them, hampered them, and that defense is not as good as it's been in years past. Miami at 13, a team that's absolutely hot, and if that injury doesn't happen to Tua, we might be talking about them winning the AFC East, as they have played some great football since Tua's come back. Chargers at number 12. Again, Jekyll and Hyde team. They'll beat a team by 20 points. The next week they'll lose by 20 points. Young quarterback play and Herbert seems to be a lot to do with that, but really it's inconsistency on the defense. Tennessee comes in at 11. Since losing Derrick Henry that this team was built around, they've had a lot of troubles. They've also lost Julio Jones and A.J. Brown for time, and Tannehill is not the type of quarterback who wins without weapons around him. That gets us into the top 10 that we really talked about. Cincy, I love what Joe Burrow's doing there, and that defense has stepped up this year, which is a year quicker than I thought they would. New England at 9. Mac Jones still showing a little bit of rookiness growing. The defense is good. They need to win some games to get in. Indy at 8. Team with a great defense, good running team. Needs to win to get in. Arizona, a team on the downside as Kyler Murray since injury has been terrible. Rams, Team at 6 being a team that's held back by Stafford's bad play currently. Buffalo, a team at 5, a team that's done everything but just needs to be consistent. Dallas at 4, explosive offense, explosive defense. The big problem is if they're not getting explosive plays, they really struggle. Tampa Bay at 3, Tom Brady-led team just really needs to get healthy, and you've seen what they're capable of doing. Kansas City at 2, that defense somehow went from bottom of the league to best in the league, and Patrick Mahomes is on offense, not feeling the pressure, not turning the ball over as much. And number 1 for the Power Index is Green Bay. Finally, the wins have gotten them to where the fact that the offense isn't top-notch, the defense is just barely top 10, gets them to the number 1 spot. And you can't argue this team is playing great football, best record in football. We have Gingy, we have Laskers do the homework. It is time to bring you the Gingy and Laskers top 10s. We'll start with Gingy. At number 10, he has Cincinnati, 9 New England. Then we go Colts, Cardinals, Bills. Getting into the top 5, there's a lot of NFC love here with the Cowgirls, the Buccaneers, the Rams. Then we go Chiefs, Packers. You get to Laskers, you have New England at 10, Buffalo at 9, Tennessee at 8, Indy 7, Arizona 6, Tampa Bay at 5, Dallas at 4, Rams at 3, Kansas City at 2, Green Bay at 1. Don't you love it when we can actually agree, Donk Nation, that the top teams are your Chiefs, are your Packers? That has to feel good for everyone out there. As always, that is all I have for the Power Index show. I don't do shout-outs here. We'll get into some ones later. I hope that didn't freeze anything other than the game right there. And I appreciate everyone who listens to this show. Let me know what content you like. Let me know what you think of our top 10s. I'll tell Laskers and Gingy if people didn't appreciate their homework, but you all better. Tune into the flagship episode. We got a lot to talk about. Steelers aren't dead yet. Facing the Browns this week on Monday night at Heinz Field. What could be Ben's last game? Who knows? We're going to have a lot to talk about after the really, really poor showing against the Chiefs for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But hey, Donk Nation, Steeler Nation, I love y'all for tuning in. You know where to reach me. Viking_Donkey on the socials. Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger is where you're going to catch this episode and all our flagship episodes of Steelers Talk. Donk Nation, Steeler Nation, wave them if you got them. Here we go.